Hey, hello out there in YouTube land. Hi, Sandy Wandy. It's good to see you. You're my first attendee tonight. I was actually this close to skipping tonight because earlier in the evening, around 7 p.m. Central, my time, I went on one of my friend's channels, my other's keeper. And so I spent an hour and a half there. And I thought, well, maybe that's enough YouTube for today. Um, But here we are. It's kinda close to bedtime, and I'm just like, "You know what? I'm not done. The day's not done till I do this." So I might not be here for very long, but I'll be here for a little bit anyway. I wanna say hi to you guys. So hi, Sandy Wandy. Thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up to hang out with me. Hey, Janet G. How's it going today? It's good to see you. Hey, Mist. Blasted. I told YouTube to give me a notification, and it didn't. Ugh. I'm sorry. That's annoying. YouTube notifications have been squirrely for me lately. Like they'll pop up pretty reliable for certain channels, but not so much for others, even though I have the same settings on all of them. Like, I don't know what it is. I even try like unsubscribing and then subscribing again and resetting those the little bell. And that didn't work either. Some channels I just have to check back on. I just have to keep tabs on those for whom notifications aren't working. Hey, Cosmic Christy, good to see you. Hey, I hope it's okay. After you shared the name of your channel, I I put you in the description box of my video about Vegemite because I thanked you in that video for explaining to me the proper way to eat it. So, like, even if I didn't like it, I was giving it my best shot, and I didn't so I linked you there. Let me know if you didn't want me to do that, and I'll take it out, but I did link your channel there. Oh, man, nobody got notifications. I just assume nobody's gonna get notifications for mine because I'm not like one of these huge channels that, gets pushed out into the stratosphere. So I just post it on the Facebook group and I post it in the Discord sometimes. I should probably get to where I'm posting it on my public Facebook, but sometimes I like to talk about stuff that bothers me at work in here, and I still have work friends on there, and I'm not technically like, I'm still finishing out my last month there. So, I mean, they could find this, like, it's not that secret, but the odds are lower. But after this month is up, I will probably just share it all over the place all the dang time. Hey, the Stitchy Bear Studio, or no, not bear. Where did I get the word bear? Oh, because I put it in the title. The Stitchy Studio, Erica Baker. Hi, thanks for coming. It's good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us today. So I know for Cosmic, it's daytime where you are. It's like a little after lunchtime. Oh, Mon is here too. Hey, Monica, it's daytime for you as well. Good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. So I've got about half of y'all for whom I know it is daytime tomorrow in the future, which I think is very cool, by the way. And then another contingent who I think, as far as I know, y'all are in the continental United States with me. 2:38 p.m. See, I got it. I remembered. I thought the last time I went live around this time that it meant it was somewhere about that 2 in the afternoon. So are there other Australian delicacies I should eat besides Vegemite that I should give a fair shake to? I'm interested. I've heard Marmite is one. Is Marmite very similar to Vegemite, or is it just kind of is it its own thing? Like, is it the same type of product or just a different brand name, or is it unique in itself? Sorry, I'm wanting to drink my tea, but it's not cooperating with me by cooling off fast enough. Look, it's Kelly B. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. It's always good to see you. That always makes me happy to see you. Okay, we're getting some times here. Oh, so for in Mon's part of Australia, it's 12:38, so it's a couple hours behind Cosmic doing gardening. Okay. So cool to me that it could be pitch black outside where I am and you can be on the other side of the world doing gardening and yet I can be talking to you. That tickles me. I think it's really cool. I think it's very, very cool. So let's see. So Do any of you follow the talks of Tick? You know, the TikTok platform with the videos that never end, that will follow you and will keep popping up new ones and until the end of time or your phone battery runs out. Do any of you guys play around on there at all? Mist, I think I know you post content there. That's probably good that you post content there, even though I don't really like the platform. I'm glad that you're there posting content that's decent. That's like not gonna rot someone's brain. You gotta make it better. You are doing the good Lord's work over there, I think. No, Janet does not follow it. Kelly follows it. I'm not knocking on anyone, I was just curious. Oh, okay. So you use them for the light foundation filter. Oh, so that you can take off the watermark and put it on YouTube. Oh, I didn't know it had fun tools like that. So I could see that. I could see that. But I really meant what I said. Like, there should be someone putting like decent quality content on that platform so it's not just a cesspool of crap. So I'm glad you're there. Oh man, you have 8,500 followers there, Kelly? That's wild. I have heard that you can get more followers faster over there. I'm not sure how it works. Stitchy Studio Erica Baker says, I can't do TikTok. I will scroll for hours. So I had to stop. So that's exactly why I don't do it. Um, it actually came preloaded on my phone, on my most recent phone. And I didn't really look at it because I was like, this is some like kid thing. This is something that teenagers do. I'm not a teenager. I don't need to look at this. Um, but then people started talking about it. And I was like, okay, well, I want to see what it is. So one day I was homesick. Like I had called in sick to work, which I never do, but I was sick as a dog. I couldn't get out of bed. Like it was bad. I don't typically call in sick ever. Um, so I had, GI problems and in between like dragging myself and like laying down on the nice cold tile in the bathroom floor, in between those times, I thought, well, now is the time to check out TikTok. So I opened it up and I started scrolling it. And I thought, I will do this for like an hour, like 1 hour. And then it was like I blinked and it had been 3 hours. It was like I went into a time warp. I don't really have that happen with YouTube. Like, I spend a lot of time on YouTube, don't get me wrong, because I've made a lot of friends here, and mostly I just like to see you guys, So and I like to meet new people too. I almost use YouTube more as social media than other social media, but I I don't fall into a hole that way on YouTube or Facebook. Like, I'll scroll a little too long on Facebook or Instagram, but it doesn't have that same effect. So I didn't delete it then. Like, I kept it on my phone later, and then I was laying in bed, and I was like, "Oh, I may as well scroll something before I go to sleep." I'm like, "I'm just gonna scroll for, like, 30 minutes," and it's 3 in the morning. Like, and then I thought, "This is not good. This is doing something to my brain that I'm not enjoying. I'm not liking it." I, and I had, like, a weird after effect whenever I would spend those hours, like, straight, like, on it. I would almost feel, like, fuzzy, like my brain felt fuzzy, like I was slower, like I wasn't as like I couldn't think of words as quickly. It was almost like a TikTok hangover. Is this a thing that you guys have had before or that you've heard of before? I wonder if that Google search term would bring anything up, TikTok hangover. I feel like it might. But like, it's well established what social media and algorithms do neurochemically in our brains, right? Like, that's well established. Like, the little likes give you little dopamine hits. The little, like, if you're on YouTube, the views give you the likes there. That gives you little dopamine hits here and there. And it's, it keeps you going. It's the same principle as a slot machine, really. Like, it's all just operant conditioning. And the most effective form of reinforcement that keeps a creature doing something longer is intermittent reinforcement, which means you don't get the thing every single time and you don't get the thing on a fixed schedule. It means you get the thing sometimes and not other times. And it's kind of unpredictable. Likes on social media are like that, they're unpredictable. So it's the most powerful reinforcer from a behavior modification standpoint. Hey, some more people came here. I'm going to say hi. Hey, look, it's Dawn Gloves. Hi, Dawn Gloves. It's so good to see you. I'm glad you're hanging out with us. It makes me very happy. And make sure I didn't miss anybody who came in. Awesome, awesome. Yes, Miss Dragon is Miss Dragon on TikTok as well. So if you're gonna do TikTok, go follow her or Kelly B69 or both of them. If you must do TikTok, follow those people. Janet G says, this kid has 11.8 million followers. Jeez, that's insane. What does he do? What does he do that got 11.8 million people to go click? Yep, I want to see that. I'm kind of concerned. Cosmic says Facebook was designed, at least at one point, by the same people who program slot machines. That does not surprise me. That does not surprise me at all. The need to constantly refresh is encouraged. Yeah, that does not surprise me. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear from Misha. I hope she is doing okay. I hope she is well. Hi, Misha, if you're talking to her. I'm glad to hear she's doing all right. So the reason I'm even like talking about TikTok at all is because so I don't follow it, so I don't know what goes viral over there. I don't know what gets popular over there. I after that weird feeling of like having time disappear and having a weird brain hangover from it, I deleted it off my phone and I was like, I can't do this. This feels like I spent a bunch of time on a drug and I never had the fun part of it. like like I just feel like my brain went numb for 3 hours and I lost 3 hours of my life. And I don't even remember what I watched. That's the weird thing. Like YouTube, when I scroll YouTube, I typically I remember what I've watched, you know? Even if it's like the shorts, like I typically remember what I've seen. But after a TikTok binge, I was like, I don't even remember what I watched for those 3 hours. I don't even remember at all. I probably remember Miss Dragon stuff though, because she has very distinctive style and voice. So just saying. But so my husband is a high school teacher and all the high school kids do the TikTok thing. They just do. Like you can't stop them. And he said, "Oh, I'm trying to figure out what this new viral thing is about where all the women are choosing the bear." And I said, "What? What are you talking about?" Apparently, there was like a viral question, like a hypothetical question being posed to women, and it was being shared around TikTok and other social media platforms. I think it spread to others now. And now I'm perpetuating it. It's all my fault. Hey, Miss Sunrise Dawn, how are you feeling? It's so good to see you. I hope you are recovering well. I hope that you have everything you need and support and all that good stuff. I know you've had a lot of medical stuff going on, right? So I hope you're doing well. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you're here. So this hypothetical question that got posed, and we may all be women here, at least the people that have spoken up in the chat. I can't speak for any lurkers, but so this hypothetical question posed to women was this: if you're walking alone in the woods, would you prefer to be approached by a strange man that you don't know, or would you prefer to be approached by a bear? If you're walking alone in the woods as an unaccompanied woman, would you prefer to be approached by a strange man you've never met or a bear? And that's the question. What do you guys think? And if you're a guy, like you can answer too. Like you don't have to be a woman to answer this. Sandy poses a good question. What kind of bear? I don't know what it was on the other platforms, but for sake of argument, let's say a grizzly because they're really big, right? So Kelly has a vote for a man. Cosmic votes the bear. Stitchy Studio, we got another vote for the bear. Yes, it was a good question. What kind of bear? It's very similar to a question I asked, but I will let you know what I asked when I give people a chance to think about it a little bit more. Janet's like, I don't know. There are variables that we don't know, right? To this scenario, like how far am I from civilization? How big are the woods? But let's assume that it's out in the woods, like in the wild, and you've got a strange man you've never met and a bear. For sake of argument, let's say it's a grizzly bear because they're big. I don't know if they're aggressive or not, but they're big. Okay, I'm interested in his reasoning. Kelly says, I stand a better chance against a man than I do a damn bear. That's a good point, Kelly. Bears are really huge. It's true. Miss Sunrise Dawn says, a man, I think. There's a good chance. He's a good man. You know what? Yeah, that's possible. Dawn says, most bears aren't going to bother me, let alone grope or catcall me unless I bother it. That's one thing. I've never seen a bear catcall anyone. uh, but I don't know. Maybe they have a bear way of doing that with other bears. But I don't know. Maybe I just don't study nature enough to know this. Janet G says, if the bear is approaching, that's not a good thing. If the bear is walking away, that's another. That's a good point. For sake of argument, let's say you like cross paths with them. Like say like you're walking this way and then like coming towards you the other direction. Strange man or bear? Cosmic says the worst a bear can do is kill me. It can't stalk me, it can't SA me. They're generally more scared of us than them. Unless polar, but we know what they do. What do polar bears do? Do I not the ones that hug? Or is there something insidious I don't know about polar bears? I don't know. Sandy Wandy makes a good point. Like, what kind of bear? If it's a black bear, a bear. Yeah, black bears kind of seem sweet, don't they? Like they seem fuzzy. If it's a grizzly, depends on the month. And if it's a mom with cubs, polar bear, a man. Okay, so Sandy Wandy, you must know more about the nature and like the different temperaments of different bears. So I think that's really cool to take into account. I wasn't able to think about it from that perspective because I don't I didn't know and I didn't want to like Google it. Like I just wanted to think about it right then and there. Mon is hands down a bear. Would prefer to come across the bear. Miss Dragon. I think either one of those before I pick a cougar. That's a good point. Very good point. Dana G says, if I were to be approached by a bear, I would take the man. Okay. Like same species. Maybe there's some species like solidarity there. Like, hey, we're both humans. Let's protect each other from this bear. Maybe. Don Glove says, I was telling my daughter just this evening about one time I was at a club with my girlfriends and roommate, and we went down to the dance floor with them to dance to I Will Survive, as women do. And this is part 1 of 2. So I'm going to scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Do I have part 2 yet? I don't think I have part 2 yet. There it is. I was about 25 and 110 pounds wet. Some muscular dude grabbed me by my forearm as I walked by him. I looked him straight in the eye, snatched my arm back, and I'm looking for the third part. Hold, please. This is a good question. In this scenario, who can run faster, me or the man? I guess we don't know, right? We don't know until we encounter them, until we're in the situation to be running, because that's how it would happen. I'll keep an eye out. Now, could pew pew a bear and get away with it? Then pew pewing a stranger. Yeah, you're right. We might get in more trouble for pew pewing a human man. That might give us some problems. Oh, yeah, mama bears with cubs are mean. It make more sense to take the man in that situation. But let's just say, like, the question was, it's a bear. So let's see, we don't see any cubs around. That doesn't mean they don't exist, but we don't see any. I know I keep adding details we didn't have before. That's probably not advisable. If the stranger is attacking you, pew pew away. I tend to agree. If you have a pew pew and you are responsible with it, use it for what it is intended in a responsible manner. And Janet G says, also, if it's in the fall and the berry season has been bad, I take the man. Oh, because the bear's going to be more hungry. You're right. You are right. I'm looking for Dawn Gloves. I don't know if you had a part three to that, but in case not, I just wanted to say that this is terrifying. Um, I know it's just an arm, right? Like we don't normally think of our arm as like a very vulnerable part of us, but that's terrifying, right? Especially if you are smaller than said man. I'm sorry you experienced that. For this reason, when I was younger and went out to dance at clubs a lot, I would usually go to gay bars because none of those guys wanted to hit on me for the most part. Every now and then you get like one lone guy who was like, "Hey, all the girls are gonna go here because they feel safe," but you could usually pick them out pretty quickly, and they tended to get, encouraged to leave because the bar doesn't make as much money if people are not comfortable going there to dance. Cosmic says, "There is no circumstance where I'd be more scared of a bear than a strange man. I have some issues." I don't know that that's issues. I think that's pretty common. So, I'll go ahead and share my answer. So, I had to think about it for a second, and I asked a lot of the questions you guys asked, like, "Well, how big is the man? Like, could I take him?" Like, because because I'm not tiny and I'm pretty strong. Like, are we talking like, is he like 6'4"? Like, is he really muscular? Is he like a little dude? Like, is he like Tom Cruise pocket size? Like, what are we talking here? Because if he's Tom Cruise size, like, sure, yeah, all day long. Like, you can send 3 or 4 of them and I'll be fine. I can take him if I have to. Um, he can probably run faster, but I think I'm stronger. Not to toot my own horn, but he's tiny. He's tiny. Um, and then I thought, I didn't ask all the questions about the bear and how big the bear was. That didn't occur to me. What occurred to me was how big is the man? Uh, and it didn't occur to me to ask, like, what mood is this bear and man into? And I thought about it for a second and I was like, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry to men everywhere. This is not a judgment on you individually. Let me preface that. Um, y'all are great individually, but I would choose the bear. And here's why: bears are more predictable to me. Um, And it sounds crappy to say, and I'm sorry, I really am. But that's been my experience in life, is that if you're a woman alone, you encounter a strange man you never met before, they are completely unpredictable. You have no idea what they're gonna do and what their intentions are gonna be towards you. A bear, typically not gonna mess with you unless you mess with them. Unless they're rabid or they've got babies and they think you're a threat. But again, all that behavior is pretty predictable. The behavior of and this isn't just men really, the behavior of humans in general is not as predictable, you know? So, we had this discussion, and then my husband flipped the question and he said, "Well, how about if it were a woman? If you were walking alone in the woods, would you choose to encounter a strange woman or a bear?" So that's kind of a flipped question, which I think is interesting. And while I'm thinking about that, I'm gonna see if anybody else came to hang out. Mischief is here! Hi, Mischief! You'll have to tell me if my mic cut out there. Oh, Don Gloves gave me her part 3. The man, he was at least twice my size, but he didn't know about my attitude. I can go from sweet to feral in under 5 seconds. Oh, and part 3 is just above. Let's go back up. This is an awesome problem to have where enough people wanna chat that I have to scroll. Okay, this is the part 2. You guys were out dancing, and he grabbed you by the forearm. Ugh. It's good to be able to go from sweet to feral in under 5 seconds. It's good to be able to be aggressive when you need to be, but also be able to control it. That's my opinion anyway. I don't know. Siri and autocorrect are being a pain in my ass tonight. Oh, they're not typing things correctly for you. I'm sorry. Cosmic says, I think stranger is the operative question in the scenario. We don't know what strangers are capable of, regardless of sex or gender. That's a really good point, Cosmic. That's a really, really, really good point. I didn't think about it that way. But yeah, I think generally strangers, like people, strangers are not predictable. And we don't know what they're capable of and we don't know what their intentions are. Mom says that's why I chose the bear because bears can't lie like a man can. Ooh. I mean, true. I mean, I don't know. Like maybe bears can like some animals are capable of some like really basic deception. Um like they can like try to hide objects and things like that. I don't know about bears though. I don't know about bears. Cosmic, this is how I was thinking about it. We know how bears behave, they've been studied, but they aren't studying men's violence or really violence in general. Yeah, that's a good point. They keep us in fear and controlled by keeping us afraid. And that's why they don't really do much about it. Yeah, I think there's something to that. I do. Mischief when I yelled it cut out. All right, I guess I have to invest in a new microphone that will, be able to catch the full glory of my exclaiming your name loudly because I don't want you to miss that. Mm. Erica says women are not as prone to violence in general. I think maybe the stats do show that. I think they do. My limited experience is that women tend to engage in more psychological violence. Like women will talk about each other behind each other's backs. They'll ostracize each other. They'll withdraw support and approval and affection. They'll create like in groups and out groups. Women are definitely capable of violence, definitely capable of throwing down. And I see that. I've seen that happen. But from the small pocket of life I've observed, there's more psychological violence. But maybe y'all have seen it different. Maybe y'all have a different perspective. If you do, tell me. Thanks for looking on. Hit the like, please. Or if you don't like, click the dislike. Just say something. Have the courage of your convictions. Mist says, just an FYI, I won't be going live next week. I'll be taking care of hubby. Understandable. And I hope that he has a very, very smooth and swift and comfortable recovery and that everything is awesome and goes just how it's supposed to. Yes, much support for Mist and her hubby. Oh, that's awesome. Mischief, I love that you do that. You put people on your calendar. Hey, Maya. Good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. Of the question, Cosmic says it's hard to say that because men don't really come forward as much about what they suffer in LGBTQ relationships as well. That's a really good point. I think in a lot of ways we do men a disservice by socializing them not to speak about their emotions and their experiences as well. Like there's that whole like be tough, boys don't cry nonsense, right? Um I think that's very damaging to men in general. Like crying can be really healthy. Like it's an amazing release. It releases endorphins, it releases oxytocin. Um it can help you it can be a decompression. like, really, and it's sad to me that so many boys from such a young age get told things like boys don't cry. That that hurts my heart and it makes me really sad. And most of you know I have a 5-year-old boy and I have a 5-year-old son and I can't imagine saying that to him. I That hurts my soul to imagine saying something like that to him. But I don't hold it against people that said that to their kids because I know that's the way they were taught too. That's the way they were socialized. So I'm not blaming anyone. I just think I hope that it's something that we're coming to think differently about as a culture. That emotions are important. They're a signal. Like emotions are information. It's a source of information. We evolved those to help us figure out when we're in danger or when we need to change something about our situation and our life. So to try to ask someone to cut those off and not express those, I think is really maladaptive and it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help the women in those men's lives either because then we struggle to figure out what it is they want from us and if they're upset, why they're upset. Because what I've seen happen all the time is men that were socialized not to express their feelings, they come out sideways in weird ways. Like case in point, my dad would have a really bad day at work, but instead of coming home and saying like, "Yeah, I had a really bad day at work. My boss was a jerk." He didn't say stuff like that. He would get really quiet and then he would blow up over something minuscule, and I think it was misdirected. I think he was really upset about work but didn't feel like he could talk about it. But it confused all of us because we didn't know, and so I'm over here trying to figure out, "What did I do?" I don't think it was anything we did, you know? Ooh, uh-oh. What happened? I missed something. When you go inside to bring your dog in and he's got something cornered, but you can't see what it is, sounded like a squirrel. Whatever it is, I hope it's okay and it didn't bite him. I got him away. Oh, is this your dog? I hope your doggy is okay. Oh, keep us posted. Hi, Mary. It's good to see you. I know, I lied. I told you I was going to skip going live tonight, but then I was still awake and I couldn't stay awake. I have a problem now. But Mary did her version of page 47 as a shout out to me, and I really, really appreciate that, and I loved your take on it, and I loved what you did with it. Miss Dragon did the same thing. Um, I can't say how cool and humbling that is that y'all, took that and did your own spin on it and shouted me out. I really, really appreciate that. Y'all are amazing. I love seeing what y'all do with it. I love seeing, y'all's flavor that you bring to it. It really makes me feel all the warm fuzzies inside. Makes me so happy I wanna gouge my eye out? Back to our bear hypothetical. Janet says, "I've been in bear country all my life, both black bear and grizzly. If the bear has been desensitized to humans through contact, they are more unpredictable than a bear who is wilder." That's interesting because I guess you can observe, behavior in wild bears, but if they're hanging around people, they're having to develop a new way of behaving. So we're not sure how it's gonna go. Mm, I like this cosmic. This is great. Funny how contact with humans makes bears unstable. 'Cause same. Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Contact with certain humans makes me unstable, but if I find the right humans to have contact with, it has a calming effect on me. You guys are good humans to have contact with, I'll say that, but there are a lot of humans that contact with makes me unstable. Humans in large groups particularly make me feel quite unstable, not gonna lie. Yeah, I do too, Christy. Christy says I trust men who can cry a bit better, although it depends, because 'cause I've had that used against me too. Yeah. Mary says, "I think that be a man kind of mentality can that be a man kind of mentality can be damaging." Yes, you can be a man, but you can show emotions. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can be strong and protective and a good, provider, protector. You can be masculine, but still have and express emotions. I think that, like I was saying, like emotions are they're an important source of information. Like if you feel like rage at someone attacking someone you love, that's an important source of information. That emotion should tell you to do something. It's something to pay attention to. Now, some of us have like hair triggers around our emotions, and so we have to be a little careful there. But yeah, I agree with you totally, Mary. Emotions are human. Couldn't imagine not being able or allowing someone to feel. Yeah, I agree. Stitchy Studio says it's not healthy to bottle everything in. Sure as heck isn't. You're right, it is. I tried that, you guys, and I should know better. Like, I really, really should know better because I went to school and I got a bachelor's in psychology, and then I got a master's in counseling psychology, and then I got a license, and I knew intellectually it was bad and unhealthy to bottle everything up, but, like, my inclination from, like, all my old damage was still to bottle it up anyway. So, it's really difficult to overcome if that's, like, what gets ingrained from you early on. What's kind of allowed me to start to change that pattern a little bit is actually, like, making friends and connecting with you guys because I have somebody to reflect this back to me and say what they're seeing, you know? Like, I don't necessarily know I'm bottling everything in if I'm never talking to anybody else, you know? Hey, Jesse Miller Unboxings at More. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. We're just chatting. I had a hypothetical question and we're just chatting. I'm a big open heart. All I do is feel stuff. I'd like to be able to shield it a bit. Yeah, I feel that today. I do. I haven't always been like that. Actually, as a matter of habit, I'm not like that. I kind of like in the past, like I've had like kind of a face and kind of like a keep it all under wraps kind of girl. Um, but lately, like a switch was flipped in my brain and like I'm noticing my emotions again. And it's like I've been bottling up for so long. They're all just kind of like at weird inopportune times. Like I don't know, like I hear a commercial on TV and then suddenly I'm sobbing in the hallway. It's a trip. It's a trip. But it's not a bad thing. It's kind of like being on a roller coaster, but it's okay. Roller coasters are fun. It's makes you feel alive, right? Goes back to the old saying, when he gets home from work and he kicks the cat after a bad day. Exactly, miss. That is exactly what I saw my father do. He didn't kick the cat. He didn't kick anything, but he did get upset and it was unclear what it was about, because he didn't discuss that stuff. And I think he was born in the 50s, so I think his generation in particular, that was really, really a big thing, and not only that, but his dad was in the Air Force, so that's really, like, the culture of, like, keep it all in is very, very ubiquitous in the armed services. At least it was back then, I don't know about now. I don't know what this means. Wait till I do a Bill Cooper from Beyond the Pale Horse. I don't know what that means. Someone will have to explain it to me, but it sounds intriguing. Cosmic says, if I read a page, I'll do page 42's because of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's the meaning of life. I think that's great. Like, if you wanted to do page 42's, like, do it. Like, it doesn't really matter what page you choose. The spirit of it is just like you're picking a book and you're picking a random page and you're like opening it up and, reading it out and to yourself or aloud and seeing what do I get from this? What's my take on it? I picked page 47 because 47 just happens to be my favorite number, um, partly because I had an experience with a friend of mine in college who, like, he just saw the world differently and his perspective on things was just very interesting. And one day he said, 47. And I said, what? And he said, Now that you know about it, you're gonna start seeing the number 47 everywhere. Now that you know about it, it's everywhere, and then it was. Like, I'll go into a live stream and there's 47 likes on it. I will, go into a chat and there's 47 people in it. I will go to the store and something is 47 cents on clearance. Like, it's just everywhere now, so I decided to add to it. Miss Dragon did her own page 47. Thank you for posting the link. I love that you guys did that. It just tickles me, it makes me happy. Oh, okay, so it was your dog that cornered the animal. He seems fine and he wants to go back outside. No. I went back and look after him after I got him outside, but he whatever it was wasn't there anymore. You did, Mom? You sent me a picture of your sister's Oh, she has a special little lamb with a prosthetic? Did you email it to me? I see it. It's in Messenger. May I share it? That looks really Oh, he's so cute. Is this okay for me to share? This is adorable. This is awesome. I'm guessing it's okay with you if I share it because you told me in the chat, but I'll wait. I'll wait until you told me that's okay. But he's adorable. Oh, that makes me his little ears. Holy moly. He's adorable. Yeah, Kelly wants to see. Let me know if it's okay to show this on screen. I know it's a lamb, but I when people send me stuff, I don't want to put it up without people telling me it's okay first, even if it is a lamb with an adorable little face. Hmm. We know we aren't completely alone in the world, even though we may feel it at the time. Yeah, I think this is true. Hey, this is cool how this happened. Jesse Miller Unboxings and More says, Blessed to Crochet, thank you. I was watching your page 47. Shout out to Kristen and saw that she was live, so I jumped over. So I felt compelled to go live tonight for a reason, even though I almost skipped it. This way I got to see you. That's really cool. It's cool how that happened. Erica says, I had a tough day and I'm very emotionally drained, but I did let everything out and ugly cried. And I do feel a little bit better having released that. I'm glad that you feel a little bit better. It's tiring, right? The ugly cry is tiring sometimes, but it kind of feels cleansing too. It's hard to describe. And like I know people that will like it's women that I've talked to admit to it anyway, but I know people that will, like, specifically like, they'll go, "Man, I just needed to cry today," and they'll, like, put on a show or, play a song or something on purpose to try to get it started, like, to try to, like, get some kind of a just to get a good cry in, you know? Now, if I could plan them, that would be very convenient because then I could schedule them during an opportune time when I'm not also supposed to be in a work meeting, but that's not where we are yet. I cannot yet schedule my my cries, my ugly cries. Thanks, Jesse. That is what friends do. We grow together. I love that. I love that too, Mary. Page 42. So, page 42 is a reference in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is a book that the number 42 is the meaning of life. If you're asking about like the types of like YouTube videos we're talking about, page 47 is where you just pick up a random book and you read the page and you talk about what you got from it and what you think about it. Really? Your youngest daughter is named Trillian? That's pretty. I like that. Miss says, I raised the 8-year-old like I raised my boys, and now I have a redheaded alpha female. I understand I do no harm, but take no shit. Ugh, I like that. That's metal. I love that, Mist. That's awesome. See, we have other fans too. Okay, so other people see this too. Miss Sunrise Dawn says, My husband is really bad about misdirected anger. He gets mad about something and ends up yelling at me or being grumpy with our daughter. I remind him it's not us he's mad at. Sometimes it helps. Yeah, I mean, that's all we can do, right? When someone close to us is doing that. Um, I mean, sometimes all we can do is, like, ask the question, you know? Like, if I could go back in time and give maybe kid me or maybe my mother advice about what to do when my dad did that, I think I would say something like, "Hey, you seem really, really upset. This seems like out of the ordinary for you. Is it really this dish that didn't that wasn't the right dish that is upsetting you, or is it something else? Like, did you have a really bad day at work? Do you need to just go, like, hang outside in the garden for a little bit?" I think that's the advice I would go back and give to me or my mother back then. I agree, Mary. The page 47 you landed on was very special and fitting. You discussed all the blessings that you've received from all your friends and support on my channel. I feel that too. I agree. I thought it was awesome. Mom says, "Yes, it's okay to share the lamb as long as show our squirrels again." You mean the synchronized swimming squirrels? Okay, I'm gonna pull up the picture of this cute little so cute. Let's see if I can, like, make the picture larger. Oh, I think that's as large as it's gonna be. Okay. Turn down the brightness, 'cause that's how you do this. Look at this little dude. Is he not the cutest little dude? Look at those ears. Mm, I want to snuggle him. He's so cute. Thank you for letting me share that, and thank you for sharing that with me. That made me so happy. Is it okay? It's okay with you if I show the blankets? Okay, cool. Let me see if I can find them. So, Mary was telling me about how she was working on a crochet blanket for someone at church. And then she sent me a picture of it and said, like, it was a baby blanket, like, it's got the ABCs on it, it's got the alphabet on it. And then she sent me a picture and she said, "Do you see something wrong with this?" Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Y'all let me know if and when you see it. I don't know if it'll be big enough for you to tell, though. We're missing a row of letters. And I didn't know what that meant at first and how that meant you would have to basically, like, rip everything out and start all over. That must have been so upsetting when you saw that. I'm so sorry, Mary. But it's a beautiful blanket. Like, I don't know, like, if I saw that at the store, I'd probably still buy it. Honestly, like, it's still pretty. Like, I don't need the whole alphabet on it. Unless it needs to be bigger, then maybe it needs another row. Like, unless you want it to be able to cover more. Oh, I was supposed to keep it a secret. See, this is what happens when I get behind in the chat. Your the 8-year-old told her brother out hiking, "Get out of my way. I'm a leader, not a follower." Good for her. That's awesome. That is badass. I love that. Ooh, Miss Sunrise Dawn sent me a picture too. Y'all are so cool. Y'all send me fun stuff. Let's see if I can find my email. Burp, burp, burp. I made a new email to go along with this channel so it would match my username here, so it wasn't, like, confusing for people. Jasper the doggy. Mm. Oh, he's so cute. Can I share him? Can I show him to the class, the group, the team, the synchronized squirrels? Look, he looks like he knows he did something wrong. He looks like, sorry, mom. He's so precious. Aw. The kid doesn't need to learn the whole alphabet. It's fine, Mary. Don't worry about it. Mary's dog is very cute too. Mocha. We love Mocha. We are Mocha fans. Mocha has a following on the internet. Yep, the EFG is missing. Synchronized squirrels. That fits us. Do you like it, Mist? Uh, that came out of a random discussion we had. I don't remember how we got. Oh, it was we were trying to figure out why Mischief doesn't have any squirrels on her island. Because it is your island, Mischief. I've decided that. It belongs to you, but there's no squirrels there, and we thought, "Well, maybe they can't swim." And then we found a video of squirrels swimming, so that can't be it. But then we asked, "Can you train them to swim in a synchronized manner?" So, synchronized swimming squirrels. I like it. We are all over the place, and then occasionally we come back together, and it's always fun when we do. Oh, no, this puppy is getting in so much trouble. Now he's harassing one of the cats. Sabrina just gave him a look like, "You know better." And he left her alone. Good for Sabrina. I assume Sabrina is one of the cats, right? I'm guessing. Oh, I'm getting more messages and photo. Oh, it's Mocha. Mary, can I share Mocha? Can I share Mocha with the team? Oh, Mocha's yawning. Mocha's so cute. Big pink tongue, puppy doggy. Let's see. Does my brightness work correctly? Okay, so that is the cat, Sabrina, and she's taught him more than one lesson before. Usually the cats will train the dogs. That's what I've seen. Like if a cat and a dog live together, usually the cat ends up training the dog how to behave. Mocha. Big yawn. Big yawn. Sleepy puppy. Mocha is now a public person. Well, yeah, Mocha is on Shorts on Mary's channel. So if you guys enjoy this beautiful picture of Mocha, like head over to Mary's channel to see more Mocha content. Mocha's a sweet puppy. Mom says, "Sorry, I have to go. Have a lovely night. Off to have tests on my leg. Oh, I hope your leg is okay. I hope that you get some good answers. I hope that you get some good, well, it's daytime there, but I hope that everything goes smoothly. And I'm so glad that you came to hang out with us tonight, Mom. I'll see you next time. Take care." I am probably gonna start winding down. You're right. Jesse hasn't seen our squirrels. I gotta show the squirrels. I posted a picture on my community tab, but I think I don't want to make y'all like go searching. So we got to find the synchronized squirrels. Here we go. Mischief made this. Mischief is awesome. They have the little flowers on their heads. The synchronized swimming squirrels. That made me very happy. A horse. Janet, you sent me a picture of the horsey. He joined your family today, Dixon. He is beautiful. Oh, I want to pet his nose. I love horses. Let me know if it's okay for me to share your picture of Dixon. I don't know if you want me to because I think it looks like you're in it. But I love horses. Yeah, when I was how old was I? Like 13, 14, 15. I was in a group at a Girl Scout horseback riding camp in, probably a few hundred miles east of us. But we would go out there like monthly and we would stay out for like a weekend and we would help run trail rides for like the younger Girl Scouts. Like the younger kids would come on trail rides. The horses out there were mostly retired race horses. Every now and then you'd get like a retired roping horse or something like that, or a quarter horses. Quarter horses are trained to run a quarter of a mile very fast. Just a quarter of a mile. They do one thing and they do it very well. But yeah, they had a lot of like rescue horses and retired horses. And so we would help run the trail rides. And then when we weren't doing that, we would have like riding lessons and like we would do arena classes and stuff like that. And we mucked out stalls and we groomed and we fed and we saddled and all that good stuff. This is out in the country in Northeast Texas, around Probably y'all won't know where this is around Palestine and Athens, Texas, because we have too many small towns in Texas. We cannot come up with new names for them. So we just copy the names of other cities in other countries. Palestine and Athens, Texas. It was in the middle of those two. I can share it. Okay, cool. And that's your daughter because it's her horse. Awesome. You're such a pretty face. You're such a pretty face. I want to pet his nose. Mm. But you can't approach the nose too fast because they spook. Well, some horses are more spooky than others. It depends on their temperament and their breeding and like their experiences. Um, but their noses tend to be really soft. My brother lives out in the country and he still has a couple of horses. And I like to go out and pet their noses and feed them carrots and stuff. I've always wanted a horse too. It's expensive though, but fun. Hi, Dixon. Oh, your mom teaches horseback riding lessons? That's cool. So we have Mary reminded me to, and I still need to do it to look into equine therapy for my kiddo. Um, my kiddo has autism and he has some like sensory stuff, and apparently like the motion of the horses really helps, helps them regulate. We have some places nearby, so I got to check them out. Dixon is a Dutch warm blood dressage horse. Ooh, he fancy. He's 15 hands tall. I got you guys, I don't know why they measure horse height in hands. It's like it's not just random hands, like it's more specific than that, but you can kind of like guess it. Unless you have like really tiny hands or really big hands, I guess that's not going to be as predictable. But that's a very tall horse. That is a very tall horse. Oh, you shared your picture of Christina and Fred. Oh, Mary, I love this. I love this. Boarding a horse here is cheap. $400 a month, including hay. Oh, that's actually not bad. I guess it depends like where you are and what resources you have and stuff like that. If you had a place out in the country and you're comfortable taking care of horses, it might be a way to bring in some extra money, being the horse boarding place. Mm, thank you, Jesse. I didn't know this. One hand equals 4 inches to measure a horse. I didn't. So 15 is math. Ew. Hold on a second. Let's see who's faster than me and my calculator. Probably all of you. So 15 hands times 4 inches is 60 divided by 12. So he's a 5 foot tall. Ooh, because they usually measure at like the shoulder, right? So if he's 5 feet tall, I'm about 5'6". That means his shoulder is like here. That's wild. That's a big horse. That's awesome. That's a good point, Maya. We measure stuff in feet, so why not hands too? That's a good point. The Sunrise Dawn says, my parents had horses before they had kids, but they got rid of them when my mom was pregnant with my sister. Oh, well, horses do require a lot of care. So, I mean, and tiny humans require a lot of care too. So I could see the need to kind of like downsize a little bit. Oh, good. I thought I remembered that correctly. Top of the shoulder called the withers, the highest point on the horse's back. And they still have a head and a neck, like beyond that. So, like a 5 foot, like that's his like, right here on me. Like that's wild. That's a big horse. That's a pretty, pretty horsey. Well, you guys, I'm thinking about wrapping it up. We're just about at an hour. I know sometimes I ramble on for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but it's late and I'm sleepy tonight. I guess it's not late if you're in Australia, and then it's tomorrow and it's just after lunch, I suppose. But maybe it's a good time to take a siesta, an after lunch nap. So thank you guys for chatting me about that weird hypothetical bear or man scenario. I thought it was really interesting to hear all y'all's different ideas on it and your reasons for why you thought the way you did. Um, it's an interesting question to ponder, and it brings up a lot of other stuff about why that could be. So, Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. It is just about 12:30, I think probably in a half hour. My friend Cricket, her channel at Chow Yun Smut goes live usually around 1 o'clock in the AM Central Standard Time where I am. I'm gonna grab her link and share it here, unless someone else beats me to the punch. Someone else is faster than me. Y'all can share it. Let's see. Do, 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. Because she also has fun chats where people just hang out and talk about whatever they want, as long as they're nice. And I love that. Do, 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 do. Mary says, oh, that isn't her horse, but it was a horse she loved to ride at her horse and riding therapy. Don Gloves, for me, Strange Bears 1. Strange Men, 0. And I don't know that anyone can blame us for this, you know? Like, we're working on it as a society, I think. And I also wanna say, like, and I said this to my husband either, like, individually, y'all men, you're great. Like, if I get to know you and who you are and, like, generally, like, what your values are, y'all are great. If I don't know you, it's scary. Sorry, but maybe that's just true of strangers in general, you know? I think the difference with men is that they're typically bigger and stronger than me, unless they're not, unless they're teeny tiny. In that case, I would prefer the strange man to the strange bear. Do, 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 do. Copy link. Y'all don't need me to narrate what I'm doing here, but I'm doing it anyway. Thank you for sharing Jesse's channel too. Throw up our friends' channels if you beat me to the punch there. I am rather slow at finding the easiest way to share them because I'm looking at the comments within StreamYard, so it's not quite as quick. Do, 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 do. Here we are. Here's me, and you can hear the echo of me. Oh, you already shared crickets, Miss Sunrise Dawn. Thank you. You are on it. You are like the hardest working mod in all of YouTube. You mod for like 10 or 11 channels and and you already modded for 10 channels and then you accepted a wrench for me too. uh, you're like yeah. Mary is also an awesomely hardworking mod. She's always got my back. So you guys have an awesome evening. Thank you guys for coming to hang out with me and chat with me. And if y'all go over to Chow Yun Smut's channel, I will see you there. If not, I'll see you guys back here probably tomorrow. If not tomorrow, pretty soon in one of the other chats we all hang out in. Y'all have a great night or afternoon if you happen to be down under. Thanks, y'all. Have a great night. Bye.